Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Hose Connection Halftime Report here in our beautiful Centier Bank Studios. I'm Jack Theo, alongside me, Mike Jamia. Mike, we're kind of getting into the second half of all our games here, but we're going to go rundown through all the scores so far. We'll start with the Lowell Red Devils. They are leading the LaPorte Slicers 21-7. We talked about how Lowell, a big game for them at the Inferno, and they have a good chance to get their first win of the year. A good one brewing down between the Wolves and the Broncos, or Bronchos, I should say, 23-21. Lafayette Jefferson leads Michigan City. River Forest, who was one of our honorable mentions in the RSN Top 10, they're defeating Calumet 26-0 in the third quarter. We go to Griffith, where the Munster Mustangs looking there for their first win as well. They're leading 19-14, and we kind of talked about this game might being a barn burner, but not even close. The Highland Trojans, 46-0, looking for their first 2-0 start in a couple of years. So they're probably about that one half football away from being 2-0. We'll go over to our next sheet, and one game that we highlighted, it's still close. The Hammond Morton Governors against Hanover Central, 21-7. Hanover Central leads. This was 14-7, but Hanover was the last team to score, so they have a 14-point lead. We go to one of our game nights built by Von Tobel, the Valpo Vikings, and we talked about they need a way to respond. They're doing that right now, 41-12 in the third quarter against the Andrean 59ers. Another game night built by Von Tobel, the Maryville Pirates leading the Hobart Brickies in the third quarter, 24-6. Maryville doing what they do best, protecting home, and well, they seem to be maybe winning that one. And our other, game night built by Von Tobel, the Crown Point Bulldogs. Well, they are making a good reason why they should still be the number one team in our rankings. 49-0 against Chicago Taft. They've done it on offense, they've done it on defense, and they've done it on special teams. We'll go to 8400 Wicker Avenue in St. John, Indiana, as the Lake Central Indians are trailing Providence Catholic 28-14. Boone Grove Wolves, they lead South Bend Clay 46-6. The Wheeler Bearcats, last time we heard, I believe they're leading Kinky Valley, or they're losing to Kinky Valley 18-14. There was a flag on the play. We didn't get confirmation whether that touchdown count or not, but for now, that's the score we have. And this is kind of the barn burner we talked about. Warsaw and Chesterton. It's 8-6. This is football, not baseball, just to keep everybody informed. Warsaw just kicked a 40-yard field goal with 25 seconds to go to take the lead. It was 6-5 Chesterton, but Warsaw now leads 8-6. And if you don't remember how Chesterton lost last week, they lost on a late field goal as well. So Warsaw could get another close win, but Chesterton, it could be another close loss for them. Mike, the game you've kind of kept your eye on throughout the night, the Northwood Panthers and Portage Indians, you said keep them from scoring 60. Well, they're at 42 in the third quarter. It's 42-7 Northwood Panthers, I should say. Will they reach 60?
I don't know. It's close, right? They were, 35 at half?
Yeah, 35.
So they were at pace.
About the middle of the third quarter now.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, I mean, it's going to get close. And I also was hoping that Portage would score a couple touchdowns. They have one. So if they get one more, and if they can hold Northwood to under 60, you did what you could against just a juggernaut of a team right now. So, I mean that's one that we've been kind of looking at scores in that regard. The Warsaw Chesterton one, talk about a heartbreak city, man, over with Chesterton, like
40-yard field goal too. That's not an easy task in high school football.
No, it's not. I mean, and we talked about how it was going to be a physical game, that black and blue type of game, and that's what it has been. I mean,
exactly.
It's low scoring. Lake Central and Providence Catholic. I hope Lake Central can, make some magic happen here. And that one last time we saw was 28-14. Crown Point.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Last year during the Centier Bank Studios halftime shows and the post game shows here at the Region Sports Network, I talked a lot about Landon Delich, is a guy that I really liked last year. Showed a pretty expansive route tree. And I think, he is, what year is he now? I believe I think he might be in his senior year.
Okay,
he might be a junior.
Junior or senior.
Yeah,
for sure.
But he's just been a guy that's been very impressive, and he scored the first touchdown of that game with Crown Point, and I believe he scored another one after that too on a long one. And it's just one of those things with Crown Point that their defense is so good. They allowed themselves very good field position early in this one, and they just clearly haven't looked back.
Well, they scored 42 last week, 49 this week. And as of now, they've held their opponents to 7 points. So you talk about score differential. I mean, Crown Point definitely will be leading that category. But all the top teams in the region have done a good job in, keeping their stand in their RSN top 10, just because you have Crown Point winning as much as they are. And Valpo, we talked about, obviously, a team that has a sour taste in their mouth is the best way to put it. After that Penn loss, they come out angry, motivated, and they brought the juice. I mean, from the start of the game, a touchdown pass from Clark, and since then it's been the Vikings. They've just been rolling against Indrain. And then for Indrain, it's going to be just a learning curve for them, I think, this year.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult. I mean, the Valparaiso Vikings are they're a really good ball club.
They're a unit.
They are, and they were widely considered, the top team in 5A, and they're taking care of business. I mean, they lost to Penn, but hey, Daryl Skibinski, Skibs, what's the score over there against Mishawaka?
It was 28-7, I believe.
Yeah, Penn was beating Mishawaka 28-7 last time we checked.
Man.
So that loss against Penn, like we mentioned earlier,
a good loss.
Exactly. If there is such a thing as a good loss, that's a good loss.
You don't look at that loss saying, "Oh, Valpo isn't what they should be because they lost to Penn." You're saying, "Okay, that's a great test for them. They lost, but you play against some of the best kids in the state of Indiana, and like you said, you learn a lot from that game." So I mean, Valpo, look, they're going to roll this year. I feel like this is a team that's destined for it. Coming off that state championship, they feel good. They feel confident. Everybody says when you win a championship, the championship hangover. I don't think Valpo's going to really have that this year. I think that they're determined. They're ready. Bill Marshall, he's one of the best coaches in the area. He's going to have his boys ready to play. So for Valpo, I think that this is kind of what we're going to see from them throughout the year. Now, they won't, blow out or be in a large lead against every team, but this is a team that can put up points and can play great defense. So this is kind of the Valpo team we should expect, for the continuing weeks. So that's going to be it for the Hose Connections halftime report. We'll be back for our post-game show after all the games, probably around 10 p.m. will be myself, Jack Theo, and Mike Jamia. But for the Hose Connection halftime report here in our Centier Bank studio, you're watching